Good morning, listeners. It's KVRX Austin HD1, HD2. You're listening to Bazar Sports Radio. It's September 10th, 2018. It's 7 a.m. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start off with Texas football defeating Tulsa 28-21. Is that a moral victory for Texas? Is that even a true victory for Texas? We'll address that on the one. Texas soccer improved to 6-0-1 on the year, beating Houston Baptist 4-0. They have won their last 14 non-conference games. We'll move on to some college football after that. Alabama football, they found their quarterback, Tua over Jalen Hurts. We'll go more on that. Clemson and Texas A&M. What a show they put on under the lights. The suspension of Urban Meyer has done absolutely nothing for Ohio State. 52-3 win over Rutgers. We'll discuss more on that later on. Baker Mayfield at OU, not a problem. Kyler Murray defeats UCLA 49-21. Kyler Murray has the OU program in good hands right now. Heisman quarterback Baker Mayfield on the Cleveland Browns. Hey, we'll talk about the Cleveland Browns too. They didn't lose their opening game. They didn't win it either. They tied. So I guess that losing streak ends somewhat. The MLB. Houston took 2 of 3 away from the Red Sox. Red Sox sit 8.5 games ahead of the Yankees. The Astros 2.5 games over the A's. Week 1 of the NFL is still going on. We got 2 games tonight. But how about the Packers-Bears? Did the Bears lose it or did the Packers win it? Well, I can tell you this. Aaron Rodgers looked incredible on one leg. Is it time for Josh Allen in Buffalo? What were they thinking trading A.J. McCarron? Nathan Peterman is not a starting quarterback. Andrew Luck is back. How do I know? He threw the ball 53 times. Wow. That's trust. And then the final round of the BMW Championship was suspended yesterday due to weather. Justin Rose leads by one stroke at 17 under par. Top 30 in the FedEx Cup points list. Move on to the Tour Championship. September 20th through the 23rd at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia. The 4th round should be going on later today. We'll see what happens because it looks like it's still a chance of rain in Pennsylvania. We've got a lot to talk about today. Stick with us through the break. We'll be back in about 1 minute. Well, if you're looking to buy the big ticket, you can go to texassports.com/big ticket. It's more than just a ticket. A big ticket gives UT students access to all regular season Texas athletic home events. That's from football, soccer, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball, and the Clyde Littlefield Texas Relays for the 2018-2019 academic year. That's over 115 events for just $175. If you buy Big Ticket, $25 Longhorn Foundation student membership and the Big Ticket, you receive express entry at football home games and other select home events. Students who buy the Big Ticket are eligible for prize drawings during the semester. Prizes include Yeti products, guided tours of Moncrief Newhouse Athletic Center, attending a Texas football practice, HEB and other gift cards, Longhorn apparel, and so much more. So buy the Big Ticket. You get access to all these events just for $175. That's at texassports.com/thebigticket. It's time for the one. And of course, the one, which will be a lot of the times this year, or especially this semester, Texas football. Well, we beat Tulsa. That's one win. Was it a quality win, though? I'm not going to say yes or no now. We're going to get there later in this segment. But I just want to go off of a few plays right now. First play of the game. How about that? I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to let the president of the Texas Cowboys, Matthew Sherman. Texas Cowboys, if y'all don't know who they are, they're the ones who fire off the cannon every time Texas scores. Kickoffs, the end of the first quarter, beginning of the game, all that stuff. Matthew Sherman is the president of the Texas Cowboys. This is what he had to say as the highlight of the first half.
I thought the interception was the most exciting play of the first half. It's always great to see our defense come out and make big plays like that, change the momentum of the game, and ultimately set us up to score more points. So, obviously it's very exciting. We definitely fire the cannon extra loud for that play, and we're excited to see more big plays like that in the second half.
Thanks, Matthew. It's true. What a play. Caden Stern's first play of the game, picking the Tulsa quarterback off. That's how we need to start. Defense comes out strong. What happens? Well, 36-yard pass to the 1-yard line, 1-yard touchdown run by Sam Ellinger. 3 plays, 37 yards. Easy. What if we could do that every time? Well, we scored 21 points in the first half. It seemed like we could do it every single time. We could be the team. We were the team to beat. Now, I don't want to jump ahead of myself and say we are back because it's Tulsa. They won 2 games last year. 2. San Jose State last year. They won 1 game last year. I wouldn't call it a quality win, but it's a win. It is a win. Let's hear what Sam Ellinger had to say about Saturday's game.
I think we were just having fun. We were playing to our ability and running around, hitting people, having fun, playing loose. I think that we kind of lost that there a little bit in the third quarter, and forgot about the mentality that we had in the first half and what we were successful with. So I think that was it, just having fun and playing loose. Tom mentioned.
They look like they're having fun in the first half. That's for sure. Second half, I don't know what happened. But let's look at the first quarter for a second. Here's what I had to say about the first quarter. The past first game, way more effective. Start was so much better. Of course, the interception does help. The defensive line was so much better this game. Tulsa had so much trouble running the ball. Sure, they got a couple good rushes, but that was in the second half. The first half, they couldn't run the ball at all. I thought the pass coverage was way better in this first half. Second half, not so much. Forcing turnovers, forcing the penalties, that's what we need from a defense and the offense. First couple plays on offense, the same guy, they jumped off sides. I think it was Tulsa's nose tackle. Hard counts. That's what we need. If we're going to be successful against these high-powered offenses in the Big 12, we got to exploit their defenses. First quarter was an A+ compared to last game. I gave last game a D in the first quarter. If I can go even farther and give it an F. What's going on inside the 10-yard line? We can't score. I was watching the Texans last night, and I was talking to my roommate, and I think we got first and goal. We ended up scoring. But I was like, if we don't score, it's going to be like Texas Longhorn football all over again. We got to score inside the 10-yard line. That's where we take advantage. If we're inside the 10, we should score 99% of the time. I don't care if it's a field goal. I do actually care if it's a field goal. I want it to be a touchdown. But if it has to be a field goal, it has to be a field goal. We should not be losing possessions or points inside the 10-yard line. And here's where I go off on the play calling. Screen passes. Enough. I think I saw it 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row. Sure, call it every so often, but if I continue noticing it, then we've got a problem, because the defense will notice it. Throw the ball downfield. Throw some slants. Throwing 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you then have to go 5 yards to the scrimmage. So really, if you get 7 yards, it's going to be a 2-yard gain. Makes absolutely no sense. Throw the ball in front of the line. Get positive yardage. Screen passes are fine. They work sometimes. For Texas, they work, I want to say, once a year. But they don't work very often. If you're going to use them, you can't use them as much as you do, because the defense will see it coming. And I see it coming. Throw the ball downfield. On punts, we need to block. We should not be having punts blocked. It's easy as that. Just block. Something's got to happen. Our punter is struggling. He's new to the system. Sure, we can blame him, but got to give him time. Remember Michael Dixon his first year. Everyone was, against Oklahoma State. Everyone remembers that, where he shanked the punt. He's from Australia. Give him some time. He will be a phenomenal punter. He's here for a reason. Give him time. And when you give him time, he'll be able to make the long punts that we've been seeing the last couple of games. Third quarter. Third quarter reminded me of the fourth quarter last game against Maryland. I was thinking, oh, not again, not another meltdown. However, we did turn it around in the fourth quarter. Speaking of turning it around, let's hear from little Jordan Humphreys on what he thought of his play during the game. Little Jordan, 7 catches, 109 yards. How do you feel your performance differed from last week?
It was okay. I feel like I can do a lot better blocking wise, so it was okay.
Little Jordan Humphreys, again, what a game. 7 catches, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 40 was his longest catch of the day. All he has to do is block. He's right. Receivers block. Those screens work. Look at that. But hey, I'm going to give Texas credit. They got a win on the board. They got USC next week. USC's coming off of a loss. Same thing as last year. USC came off a loss. It was an exciting game last year. If the Longhorns play like they did in the first half, they're going to beat USC. They play like they did in the third quarter, they are not going to beat USC. It's as easy as that. Come out strong, come out hard, just like you did in the first half, and you will be victorious because you were unstoppable. Now, I've given Tim Beck grief all year. I gave him last year. I gave him grief the past couple of weeks. But whoever was responsible for the first quarter and parts of the second quarter play calling, if it was him, Great job by him. That was very good play calling. However, got to hold him responsible for the third quarter and parts of the fourth quarter. Not so much. I said it last week. I said I give him credit if they did well. I will give him full credit, though, and I will applaud his efforts next week if what happened in the first half this week happens in the game next week. Because then I will say, okay, maybe. This is a good sign that we are back. I'm not going to say it this week because a 28-21 win is not as convincing as it should be. If we said we beat someone 28-21, I'd say, okay, great game. Who did we play? Oh, we played Tulsa. Not as convincing. If you said West Virginia or someone in the Big 12, okay, Big 12 has some good teams. Good win. No. Non-conference, this Tulsa game should have been exactly the same as San Jose State. Again, happy for the win. It's what we needed under our belts. Just something to get the momentum going into next week. But it should have been a higher scoring game. That's all. Should have been higher scoring. Again, defense looked really good. Offense looked very good in the first half. Things just didn't seem to meld together in the second half. But hey, it's a long season. It's only 2 games in. Got USC this week, which would be, oh, what a game. It won't be college game day, but it'll be under the lights at 7 p.m. Again, all you need is your big ticket to enter. TexasSports.com/big ticket. Easy. It's going to be a game, folks. It is going to be a game. You're going to want to watch that. You have TCU, Ohio State on college game day, and you got Texas, USC. Texas football back? Not yet. We'll see. I'll give it one more week, and then I'll tell you my answer. Again, you're listening to Bazar Sports Radio. Thanks for tuning in for The One. We'll be right back on KVRX, HD1, and HD2. We're back. Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX, HD1, and HD2. You just listened to The One. Talk Texas football. Recap of the 28-21 win over Tulsa. And thoughts from the game. Interviews, we got one from Lil Jordan Humphreys on a 7-catch, 109-yard, 1-touchdown game. Sam Ehlinger, his thoughts on his play and how the team played as a whole. And then, of course, we talked to Matthew Sherman, president of the Texas Cowboys, in charge of firing the cannon. At halftime, we talked to him about the most exciting play of the first half. Other college football around the country. Tua Tagovailoa. He's the QB1 at Alabama. Why? Well, he looked darn good. 13 of 19, 228 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not only that, he carried 4 times for 20 yards. Sure, he's QB1, but how about Jalen Hurts? 7 of 9, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now I know they weren't playing the strongest opponent. But hey, Alabama has got some quarterbacks. They have 2. So here's the problem. Where will Jalen Hurts be next season? Will he be in a Crimson Tide uniform? Or will he transfer? I do think he will transfer. I think he will be wearing red next year. Red in Oklahoma. Kyler Murray will be gone next season. He has made some money as a top 15 draft, or I think he was drafted 10th overall, or 11th overall, 9th overall, whatever it was, by the Athletics. He's going to the MLB for sure. Oklahoma loves their transfers. Baker Mayfield, transfer. Kyler Murray, transfer. And Jalen Hurts will be their transfer. I predict Jalen Hurts to be in a red jersey at OU next season. Or not next season, but in 2 seasons. Especially after all the things he said. Came out and said about transferring and looking for other schools and all that stuff. I think Tua's the guy of the future at Alabama. It says it right there. 13 of 19, 228 yards, 12 yards per throw, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a QBR of 98.2. I mean, he's their guy. MVP last year at the national championship game. Jalen struggled in the spotlight. However, he did have a fantastic year last year. I'll credit that all to Jalen last year, getting them there. But Tua finished the job, and he's starting the job this year. Tua will be the starting quarterback. Jalen will be a Sooner next season, or in 2 seasons. Next, since we just talked about the Sooners, we'll talk about UCLA, Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma's in pretty good hands. Kyler Murray, 19 of 33, 306 yards, 3 touchdowns. Against a very good UCLA football team. UCLA started a true freshman out of Bishop Gorman High School, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. 16 of 26, 254 yards, 1 touchdown. He's going to be a good player. UCLA fans, give him time. He will be a very good quarterback. I'm not sure if he will be the Josh Rosen for y'all. But he's a good quarterback. Playing that atmosphere in Norman, Oklahoma. Throwing 0 interceptions. Quite the accomplishment for a true freshman. Since we're on this game, let's talk about Rodney Anderson. He's done for the year. Oklahoma running back. He had 6 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. He's done. Their star running back is done for the year. How does that affect them? Well, they throw the ball a whole lot. They got TJ Pledger, 7 carries, 45 yards. They have Marcelius Sutton and Trey Sermon. One of those 3 guys are going to have to step up. Sure, Kyler Murray, 10 carries, 69 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's kind of a running back too. They gotta find the next guy up. Rodney Anderson is a true class act. He's a phenomenal player. He leads that offense in rushing every year. Somebody's got to step up. I already said it. Urban Meyer suspension at Ohio State's doing absolutely nothing. Why was he suspended for the first 3 games of the season? They got TCU. That's their biggest game this week. So they're going to start 2-1, like I said, before the season started. I'm sorry, these games don't mean anything. If you're going to suspend them, do it for the ones that matter. They go TCU. And I think they go Tulane is when he returns. And then they go Penn State. If you're going to do it and try to hurt the program, you do it on the conference games. This suspension wasn't to hurt the program. It was just to say, Urban, just take the leave from the school for a couple games. Let's let this one go over our heads, not to worry about. Everyone's going to forget about it. I still haven't forgot about it. If you're going to suspend a guy and do it in order to punish the program and punish the entire system as a whole, you do it for games that matter. Oregon State, Rutgers, not so much. I would have been very happy if they said you're going to be suspended for TCU, Tulane, Penn State. That would have made more sense to me. Not even that. Big Ten, first 3 Big Ten games. That way makes way more sense. But enough of Urban Meyer. Ryan Day, interim head coach. Ohio State still looks like the team to beat. Dwayne Haskins, 23 attempts, 20 completions, 4 total touchdowns. And then Tate Martell, who also was at Bishop Gorman 2 years ago, 10 of 10, 121 yards and a touchdown. They got 2 quarterbacks, and then J.K. Dobbins, 12 carries, 73 yards, 1 touchdown, 6.1 yards per carry. That's Heisman number, folks. Heisman numbers. He keeps that up, you will see him in New York. Game of the week. Clemson, Texas A&M. Kellen Mond, 23 of 40, 430 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. A&M's found their quarterback. Running game, not really. 32 carries, 71 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. Not going to cut it in the SEC. Run-heavy offenses in the SEC, not going to cut it. Kelly Bryant of Clemson, 12 of 17, 205 yards and a touchdown. Not his best, but hey, got the victory. Had a good game on the ground, 15 carries, 54 yards and a touchdown, along with Travis Etienne, 8 carries, 44 yards and a touchdown as well. That was an exciting game to watch, so I was told. I didn't get to watch it. However, people who were watching it were watching that over the Texas-Tulsa game. I was texting my uncle during, I think it was the third or fourth quarter of the Texas-Tulsa game. I was asking him a question about one of the plays, and he texted me back saying, "What's the score?" Watching Clemson, Texas A&M. It was 21-0 going into halftime. Nobody thought that Tulsa would come back. A&M and Clemson was the game to watch. I would have been watching it if I wasn't at the game. Of course, I'm going to watch Texas football, but game of the week, you always got to watch. Your team's not playing, you still got to watch it. Anything can happen. Clemson survived. Some late drama in College Station, and Clemson survived. So, just to recap a little bit of the college football again, Nick Saban has found his QB1. Clemson and Texas A&M put on a show. The suspension of Urban Meyer has done absolutely nothing for Ohio State. And Kyler Murray has started off right where Baker Mayfield left off. You're listening to Bazar Sports Radio. We'll be right back. We're going to talk some MLB, some NFL, and we'll talk a little bit of golf. Why not? We'll talk some golf. Stick with us through the break. Again, this section of programming is brought to you by Capital Metro. More information at capmetro.org/UT. That's capmetro.org/UT. Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX, HD1, HD2. Stick around. Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX, HD1 and HD2. This section of programming brought to you by UT Athletics. More information at texasports.com. Again, check out the Big Ticket at texasports.com/Big Ticket. Week 1 of the NFL regular season did not disappoint except for my fantasy team. I'll talk more about that later, but Aaron Rodgers, as Stephen A. Smith would say, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Oh, he is. He is a bad man. 286 yards and 3 touchdowns. On one leg. Are you kidding me? Did the Packers win it or the Bears lose it? Well, the Bears definitely struggled. But coming on one leg and doing what he did there in the second half, the Packers definitely won it, and Aaron Rodgers saved the game at the beginning of the 100th season in the Green Bay Packers history. Oh. The Packers won that game for sure. Let's not discredit Aaron Rodgers. Let's not discredit Khalil Mack. He had an interception, a return for a touchdown, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. The last guy to do that in a game? Any guesses? Any guesses? Khalil Mack. Yep. He's the only one that's ever done that. Oakland. What were you thinking? You traded a all-pro defensive player of the year who can do this and is that impactful after being on a team for a week? For draft picks. Wow. For draft picks. I'm sorry, I don't know who you're going to pick, but they're going to take more than 3 years to develop. And John Gruden, I don't think you have that much time. You're supposed to be the guy that's going to turn Oakland around. But trading Khalil Mack? Pay the guy. Pay him. Every time you get a star, what are y'all going to say? Ooh, we're going to trade him. We don't want to pay him. Then what's the point? Why draft guys who are going to be studs, make them stars, and then trade them? What's the point? Pay the man. And you didn't. You paid the price. Khalil looked better in a Bears jersey than he did in an Oakland jersey. Oh, if I were the Bears, after this game, we got a steal. Mitchell Trubisky looks good. Play calling is way better than it was last year. Sure, we took the loss, but hey. In Green Bay, 24-23, not a bad loss. Now, you can argue bad loss because they couldn't take advantage in the second half. But you know what? It's Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad man. You've got a good defense. You've got a very good offense. Jordan Howard, running back. The Bears are going to be a team in the NFC that might be a surprise wild card team. You heard it here. The Bears could be a wild card team. Chicago, it could happen. Your Cubs could be in the playoffs this year. Your Bears could be in the playoffs this year. The White Sox will for sure not be in the playoffs this year. The Blackhawks could be in the playoffs. I don't want to keep going, but you know what I mean. The Bears could be a playoff team. The first half, they played like it. Matt Nagy was the right choice in Chicago. All right. Moving more north and more east. Buffalo. What is going on? Why would you trade A.J. McCarron? Why? Why? Nathan Peterman, your starter, 5 of 18, 24 yards, and 2 interceptions. Are you kidding? Check this out. His QBR, 0.7. I'll be honest, I've never seen anyone's that low before. 0.7? Are you kidding me? Josh Allen looked way better, and he didn't even play that well. 6 of 15 and 74 yards. But he did scramble. 4 carries, 26 yards. Oh my God, Buffalo. You gave away Tyrod Taylor. You gave away A.J. McCarron. And now you're going to have to start Josh Allen way too early. I get by week 9 you want to start him. Not a problem. Week 2, if you bring out Nathan Peterman, you should be ashamed. He did not look like a starting quarterback under center. Now you could say, okay, give him some time. No. I'm sorry, no. Nathan Peterman showed no improvement. 0 throughout the game. It's Josh Allen time in Buffalo. As my friend Zach said, that's why I drafted Josh Allen. Because he's going to be the starter. He's right. Josh Allen should be and will be the week 2 starter. If he's not, I'm sorry. Sorry, Buffalo fans, but he should be. Joe Flacco had himself a game. 25 of 34, 3 touchdowns. He's playing for that money. I'm still going to stand by my statement. I know Joe Flacco had a phenomenal game. Look at the numbers. He had a game. But this will be the last season Joe Flacco will wear a Baltimore Ravens jersey. That's it. I'm looking up his contract now. I just don't think he's going to make it. That's one game. 33 years. He's supposedly making $18.5 million next year. 34 years of age. I don't think he can keep it up. I applaud him for his game this week. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. If he keeps it up, he will be a Baltimore Raven next season. I just don't see it. If he keeps this up, he will have one more year in Baltimore. If he doesn't, last year in Baltimore. That's my final answer. Why? You got Lamar Jackson. You drafted Lamar Jackson. Baltimore needs a revamp of the entire organization. Lamar Jackson can provide that. This will either be Joe Flacco's last year if they don't make the playoffs, or he'll have one more year if they make the playoffs. That's it. And hey, they got a pretty good chance of making the playoffs. Because, hey, the Steelers didn't look very good. Ben Roethlisberger, what were you doing? 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. And oh my God, Cleveland, you didn't lose. Tyrod Taylor, you had the ball in the 4th quarter. So close. 5 yards from field goal range. And what do? Go down the field to Josh Gordon and throw an interception. Cleveland Browns, just run the ball. I think there's 15 seconds left. You run it, get 4 or 5 yards. Okay. Spike it. You could still get one more playoff, probably. It'd be close, but you could still get it off. No reason to throw the ball down the field. Josh was open. If he did throw it down the field, overthrow him, don't underthrow. Tyrod, you underthrew him, and interception. Steelers, Browns tie the game 21-21. Best start for Cleveland since 2004. What? 2004 and their best start is 0-1. Hey, change is coming in Cleveland. Change is coming. Andrew Luck threw the ball 53 times. Wow. Talk about trust. It's a lot of throws by a guy who's had shoulder injuries and shoulder problems. I don't know what they were doing. Sure, they were losing, but first week back, I would not have thrown him 53 times. It's too many. Dolphins get the win 27-20 after that long rain delay. Jimmy Garoppolo, first game as a starter. First week 1 start in a 49ers jersey into the loss. That's his first loss as a starter. 24-16, Vikings win. Buccaneers. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 21 of 28, 4 touchdowns, 417 yards. Jameis Winston, beware. Drew Brees also had a game, 37 of 45, 439 yards, 3 touchdowns. Difference maker, Tampa Bay rushed for 112, New Orleans just 43. Ground game was a little bit better for Tampa. Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's always a guy who could be the starting quarterback. It just depends how long it lasts. Jaguars hold Giants to 15 points, 20-15 win. Saquon Barkley, very impressive in his rookie debut. 18 carries, 106 yards, and a touchdown. They've got the running back. Broncos Seahawks. Case Keenum, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Russell Wilson, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's not even what I'm going to be talking about. Why? Because I'll tell you who's a bad man. Michael Dixon. 6 punts, 354 total yards, 59 yards average for his punts. 4 inside the 20. Longest punt of the day, 69 yards. Talk about that mile-high elevation. Woo! Wow. His shortest punt of the day, if that was his average, that would have finished 12th in the league last year. His average is 10 yards more than the leading punter last season at 49 yards average per punt. He is 59 already. Wow. Marquette King, 6 punts, 267 yards. Just 44.5 yards was his average. He hit 3 inside the 20. 53 was his longest punt. And Marquette King is known for his punting abilities. I don't know, Michael Dixon looks pretty darn good. The MLB. New York, 8.5 games back of Boston. The Yankees have slipped up a bit, 5-5 in their last 10. Tampa Bay has turned it up. They got a 0.1% chance of making the playoffs. They're 8-2 in their last 10. The Astros dropped last night's game to the Red Sox, 6-5. Mitch Moreland came through on a walk-off single. 2.5 game lead by the Astros over the A's. Mariners sit 10 games back. Cleveland, they're 5-5 in their last 10, but their division isn't chasing at all. Twins sit 15.5 games back, and that's second place. Atlanta Braves, 79-64. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They lead the Phillies by 4.5. The Nationals sit 8 games back of the Braves. Braves are doing brave things. The Cubbies, 2-game lead over the Brewers. That game will be featured on Wednesday Night Baseball. Brewers are hot, 8-2 in their last 10 on a 3-game win streak. How about the Pirates? Sure, they sit 12 games back, but they're a 5-game win streak. And a team I said that could definitely shoot for the NL West, the Colorado Rockies, leading the Dodgers by half a games. I said it, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. The Dodgers are going to falter to the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are 6-4 in their last 10. Sure, they got one of the toughest schedules in the MLB. They're looking strong. ESPN.com gives them a 49% chance to make the playoffs. And the Dodgers, 83% chance. Because the Brewers are going to be the number 1 wild card team. It's either going to be the Dodgers, the Rockies, or the Diamondbacks as the second wild card team, and one of those 3 teams will win the division. Who will it be? I think it'll be the Rockies that win the division, and the Dodgers that hit the wild card. The Rockies are playing some good baseball. John Ryan. Not John Ryan, I'm sorry. John Gray, starting pitcher for the Rockies, turning it up a notch. Nolan Arenado. Trevor Story. Trevor Story hit a 505-foot home run on a 3-home-run game. Rockies turned it up. All right, we'll be right back. Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX, HD1, HD2. Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX, HD1, HD2. We're back. It's the wrap-up. Well, the Horns got their win 28-21 over Tulsa. Convincing? Not really. But good win? Sure, we got to win. We'll take it. UT Soccer moves to 6-0-1 on the year, beating Houston Baptist 4-0. They've won their last 14 non-conference games. Alabama's found their QB1. Clemson and A&M have put on a show on Saturday night under the lights. Urban Meyer's suspension has done absolutely nothing. Kyler Murray continuing where Baker Mayfield left off. The Houston Astros took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. Both teams lead their respective divisions. Red Sox 8.5 games. Astros 2.5. Packers won it last night thanks to Aaron Rodgers and his incredible performance on one leg. Khalil Mack did some bad things last night. Interception, return for touchdown, a sack, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Last person to do that was him. Josh Allen time in Buffalo, yes it is. Nathan Peterman is no longer going to be their starter, and that's coming from me. Browns' losing streak comes to an end thanks to their 21-21 tie over Pittsburgh. That's right, their best start since 2004. Final round of the BMW Championship was suspended yesterday due to weather. Round 4 begins later today. Justin Rose leads by 1 stroke at 17 under par. Just some great things we talked about today. Really good things. So much more is going to happen next week. And you just got to stay tuned to us. Come on, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday mornings. This is Bazar Sports Radio, KVRX HD1, HD2, USC, Texas, next Saturday, 7 p.m. under the lights. Check it out. See you next week.